Hello, your backup plan tribe, to another Walking with Tina episode. Last week we did some celebrities and talked about Lisa Marie Presley again, and I'm so happy to have you guys come on our show. We look at real life stories on our podcast, but Walking with Tina, we talk about more important things about how to be better prepared, and I think I still have my lunch in my mouth. I had to stop for my walk because I couldn't stand and talk to you guys and walk at the same time. So there you go. See, we can't do two things at once. Our topic today, this week, is about being better prepared in relevance to the earthquakes in Turkey and Syria this week. It's an eye-opener for all of us to take a step back and see what we are prepared for, what we're actually prepared for. What if, that comes up quite often in our topics. What if thousands of buildings fell down in Turkey? What would happen? How does that impact your family? Some families have lost a whole family. Some of them have just lost the parents and left the children. So then what? And today I've had two podcasts, one coming up in a half an hour or so, and it's on grief again as well. Grief is a big importance, and I'm not sure how they're going to get through this in Turkey and Syria, because it's devastating, and sometimes we're not given 5-minute evacuation notices to grab our grab-and-go bag that we may have prepared for such an event. Sometimes hurricanes and tornadoes don't give us much notice either, and sometimes they do, which we're blessed to have that time. So what kinds of things do we need to be prepared for? Because you might say, I'm prepared, Tina. I have all of my crap together. And I beg to tell you differently. Because it's only when something does happen that we realize, like Mike Tyson says all the time, his famous quote is, you think you have a plan until you get punched in the mouth or the face, literally, or all of your body. Because it becomes so complicated. Something so simple that we had a talk about on our podcast today was about doing the little things like canceling somebody's cell phone that passed away. And the phone company keeps saying, well, I need to speak to that person. Plus you're grieving. Plus you don't even want to say those words that come out of your mouth that the person's passed away or died. But they're making you say it over and over again. And not only that, but they just keep saying, when you put that person on the phone, we can then fix it. Well, that's never going to happen. So how do I fix this? So there's all sorts of little things, like I understand cars and vehicles can be an issue depending on where you live and whether you have one name on title or two names on title of the insurance. Look at those things. Those are all things to consider, especially I noticed when you buy a new vehicle. I used to work in a car dealership, and I noticed that all the car dealerships all just want the sale and want you to sign on the dotted line. And that's all very perfect in most cases. But the difficulty comes when someone passes away, when it's only in the one name of that person. Versus having two names on title allows you to be able to correct the car insurance without difficulties, without too much trouble. But I found at the car dealerships, they just want you to sign the contract and not wait for the other spouse or partner, or if it's a business, just do it, just sign it. But nobody has given thought to what if something happens and you go home that night and all of a sudden, even if the car is totaled, you still have to pay for the car. Doesn't matter. So there's difficulties in all sorts of things that we don't realize, but I've tried to make it easier in your backup plan app by making sure that we have those kinds of things prepared and that we have them ready, or that we've considered them. Life insurance, your car titles, your passwords. Do you have a safety deposit box somewhere that no one else knows about? Well, which won't be any help to anybody, actually. Because first off, they have to figure out that you have a safety deposit box. And secondly, that how do you get into it? Because you probably haven't arranged that either. Or where is your key for the safety deposit box, and where is the location of it? I could go on for hours about all the things that you need to do and think about. And it's not just, I'm prepared, I have a plan, I have a trust, or I have a will and a power of attorney. Well, I hope you do, first off. And I hope you've considered having a trust, if it at all impacts you and your family, if that makes any sense to you. It might. If you haven't looked at it, consider that. The other difficulty is keys. As little as a key would be to getting into the garage, perhaps, or getting into that safety deposit box, or where your maybe you have a locked safe that nobody knows how to get into. Because what happens is, if you have one, then how does someone break into it? They have to pay someone to come and break into the safe. And a lot of times, a lot of cases, I found with my clients, they don't even have any pertinent information in the locked safe to start with. So they're really not prepared. I've had a client who had their will put on top of a bunch of newspapers on top of a garbage can. It's the least place that you would expect someone to properly save their documents. So in your backup plan app and in our caregiver rescue program that's launching next month, I'm really quite excited about that. But in the app, it just takes you through each section, and it's painless. And on our Facebook group that we have a VIP group with, we get to talk with others about situations that might have come up with their aunt or their mom or their dad or their sister or their brother or their spouse. And what do I do? And how do I look after that? And how do I fix that? Or how do I make sure I don't do that? And those are types of things that we love to talk about, and we have free webinars on our VIP Facebook group. So make sure you check that out as well. Our YouTube channel has tons and tons of podcasts about all sorts, about trauma and tragedies, as well as inspirational and motivational talks about with our guests about things that have happened and changed their life, and possibly gone on to help others because they found it doesn't have to be this way. And I really started your backup plan app by such an instance where I had a dear friend who had turned 60, and her husband had called me and said, Carol can't drive home after doing all these tests at the hospital. Could you pick her up when she's finished? I said, sure, just call me. So he eventually called me later in that evening and said, you don't have to pick her up, Tina, today, but she's in for more tests and possibly we'll check back with you tomorrow. So I checked back with him the next day, and he said she's not coming out. She has stage 4 breast cancer. So that really did a number on me, as well as just think just take a second and close your eyes for one quick second and just think about walking into emergency in the hospital to find out what's wrong with you and never, ever coming out. Just think about that. Not only do you have to see, oh God, see what it's these stories that give me the passion to help you not go through this. You know, I used to walk up into that elevator every week and at the hospital and wonder, oh my God, like, what is she gonna look like today? How is she gonna be? And every time I say that, I can smell the hospital. It's just like yesterday. And she really said something to me. And we went outside and sat on the patio before she was stuck in her bed for just a few weeks after that. It didn't take long. And she said, Tina, she grabbed my hand and she said, I just want to see the birds and I want to feel the breeze on my face. And I want to see the blue sky. So people don't want to be burdened with all the crap that you have to put together when it's that moment. When it's something that they're going through and trying to recover from, if it's possible. They don't want to have to think about that they're dying and what they have to get together. That's not the time to do that. The time is today. The time is when you feel good. You can have those family conversations with each other. And we do webinars on those too. And we have a lot of fun. We have appies and coffee and alcohol in some cases. And we have a worksheet and we just go down the worksheet and we just tick our boxes. That's what we have to do to answer the questions, and everybody takes a turn. It's like Monopoly. And we just ask those weird, strange, taboo questions that nobody wants to talk about, but we get it done with fun and we make a game of it. So I just wanted to come on today and talk about what we can do today and what possibly things to think about, that just to sit in the moment and think, if something happened to me and I didn't come home tomorrow, how would the people around me think? What would they know what to do? What about the stuff that you have, your hobbies, your vehicles, your assets, your properties, all of those kinds of things? And hi to everybody. Hi, Mike. Hi, Best at Tungan, Crowley, Broker, Hassan, Bob. Hi. I want you to stop and just think about 1 second this week before the Super Bowl, okay? One thing, what would be affected in your life if you lost your special person? If you lost somebody to put your stuff together, perhaps, or if you lost them, what does that look like? What kinds of things would you not know that they had? And it's only when it happens that you realize, I don't have their passwords. I don't know how to get into their computer. I don't know how to get into their phone. I don't know where their bills are. I don't know how to pay their mortgage. I don't know how to pay their rent for them. Who knows? Who knows all of this stuff? And every case is different for each of you. So if you can at all just think about what it is in your life that you need to look at. And if you need help, you got me. Okay? You got me, you got us, You got our app to help you get prepared, because you don't have to even think about it. You just have to flick down the app and it tells you what to do next. It tells you what to get prepared. And if you're lost or have questions or if it's complicated, you can jump on our Facebook group and talk about it or send me a DM. I'd be happy to help out anybody who needs some assistance. So that being said, I'm caught on the fence here. Let's have a sunny day for all of us. Let's have a better time in getting our stuff together. And looking forward to next week. It will be a celebrity. We've got a couple that are really, really important, like Twitch didn't have a will. Yeah. It doesn't matter what color you are. It doesn't matter how old you are. And it doesn't matter what race you are. And it doesn't matter if you're a celebrity or if you're a millionaire or if you have no money. Go do a will. If it's not today, before Super Bowl, okay? Promise me that. Promise me that you're going to start looking at these things and considering what to do next. If you need some help, you got me. Talk to you soon, guys. Find us over on our show today, 3:30 Pacific Standard Time. We're on talking about grief and the loss of a spouse. See you over there. Hopefully no more tears. Bye for now.